We're live.
Hello, everyone. This is Christy with Planted Places, and excited to be here going live. Today, we're just doing a quick video for you guys because here's what we're thinking. Here we are in California, and all of a sudden, it's going to be like 90 degrees or more so. Like tomorrow, today, it feels like it's 95 in the sun. So we realize if you're growing food at home, either on one of our great farm walls or just in your garden bed, there's some special tips you're going to need. And so I've got with me today Anna James, who is our horticulturist specialty in the house, and she's going to walk through kind of some quick tips. We're calling them our forensic tips for what to be doing, what you need to be on the lookout for with some of these hot days in the spring, because chances are your seedlings are not used to it. But first, before we do that, I've got this beautiful heart with some beautiful seedlings inside, and it's really for Mother's Day. One thing I wanted to say was, we love our moms. Lord knows I do. And, most of our moms out there probably either grow food, they're a gardener, they grow food their own, or maybe they really want to learn. And, but it's really hard for them to do. And so what we want to do today for Mother's Day is we're offering a special discount off the farm wall for Mother's Day. And so go ahead and send a DM or message us, Facebook, Instagram, and we'll send you the code for that. So when you check out, you can apply that. Also, another thing we're doing is we have just released gift certificates, gift cards. So if you're in a rush and you haven't yet figured something out for mom or grandmother, go ahead and you can get one of those on the site, and then your mom can use that at checkout and apply it towards the purchase of a farm wall. So, okay, with no further ado, and also too, we will send you something like this in the mail, which is kind of almost like it's our version of a bouquet of flowers. Okay, so I'm going to introduce Anna and have her come down. I've learned everything from Anna, and that's why the walls look so beautiful. So let's do the switch over. Okay, there she is.
Hi guys, I'm Anna, and I work pretty closely here in the test gardens with Christy. And as the weather starts to get warm and plants need a lot more water, I really like to kind of give you some suggestions about what to look for in your wall, kind of like a top 5, right? Top 5 forensic tips. And first and foremost, you always want to make sure your bins and basins are full of water, and that so your pump can work efficiently, and you can basically have really successful irrigation. When your irrigation is running, you've got the little the barbs here that will help you with the water flow. And you want to have a good steady drip. You don't want to have a full fire hose of water coming down. You want to make sure that all of your pots can essentially saturate and absorb as much water as they need. So watering, that's always crucial. And when you have 90-degree days, you definitely want to keep a close inspection on your wall, multiple times a day. If you can just get a few seconds, a few seconds out. During COVID right now, we're all kind of stuck at home. So the benefit to a farm wall is that you can come out and you can look at it and you can appreciate it too. So spend a few minutes looking, inspecting, and you'll have great success. Another thing to look for is, of course, dry, dead, diseased. I always look for critters, especially early in the morning and kind of early to mid-evening. You want to look under leaves. You want to look on top of leaves. You want to make sure that even here we found some aphids on a kale earlier today, and they come from this really young growth. So always look really deep into your stems of your plants and make sure that you don't have an infestation that's starting where you'll never see it. Another suggestion is bolting. So I left this here so that we could kind of get an idea of what. This is a romaine lettuce, and your typical romaine looks more like a stalk, like a compactor stalk. And a way to prolong your ability to harvest or cut and come again is to clip back your thickened extended stem. You can clip it all the way back to one of these base leaves here. I usually leave a little extra room just because it needs the foliage to photosynthesize, but if you just clip it back, you'll have additional growth coming from the base of the plant. Next thing.
Oh wait, can I ask something real quick?
Of course.
So now, isn't it true that sometimes when you've got, so let's say you're extending the growth of that by cutting it back, sooner or later you can tell that it's not so good, right? Because what happens to the taste? I mean,
Well,
does it last forever? I mean, how does this work?
The most fun that I ever have is tasting through the farm wall, right? So always taste. Tasting your flavor, especially after you've seen signs of this, you know your plant is kind of ending its growth cycle and it's going to start going into flower, which is essentially its reproductive cycle. So once you've cut this, and you will have some, the new growth, but taste it. And if it starts to get bitter and sour, it's time to pull and time to replace. And that's when you check for your seedling replenishment. So bitter greens, I'm not a fan. You probably aren't either. So bitter greens are usually a sign that it's time to go. Another bit of attention I want to put is on some of this arugula. A bolting plant is something that happens this time of year because our weather is getting warmer and our plants are turning over. But this is a sign of some bolted arugula that's still really fantastic. Flavor's amazing. I love it spicy. I'm an arugula lover. So I want to keep this as long as I can. You can see that we've already cut back some of these flowering stalks. You can sort of see some of the hairs on the stalk that those are the signs that it's a bit more mature. And so clip them all the way back down. So this guy, we can clip again down to this base here where my fingertips are. And these guys are going to continue to push out leaves. And thank you, Mallory. I'll take those clippers and I'll show you how to do it. You're gonna clip it to here. And you can still eat those couple of leaves and harvest. And then these leaves are gonna continue to push out. You can see a little bit of new growth right here where my clippers are. So that's another sign. Lastly, kind of going back to water, I want to make a mention. I saw something that was pretty dry today. And this, crumbly texture, it's dry, it's sort of crumbling to the ground, it's really light brown in comparison to this really dark brown. Mm-hmm. This needs water. This is a happy guy right now. He's moist. He's moist to the touch. He's a little cool. And of course that dark brown color shows that you've got a lot of water retention in that soil, in our delicious, yummy, living soil. So that's a sign that we need to get this guy some water or he's not going to be very happy. But you always want to make sure that these guys aren't living and functioning like this, because you won't have this beautiful maximum growth of these plants getting the water that they need. So I think, so we went over some diseases, we went over some pests, we went over the watering technique, some of the ways to prolong and extend the life of your yummy veg, and simply just enjoy your wall. I think that's about it. Does anybody, you guys have any questions? Or we welcome your questions, we welcome pictures, we welcome any interaction. We really just want to help you through the gardening process. So with that, I hope to see you guys some more, and it's my first video, so a little nervous. All right, thanks, have a good day.
Awesome. Okay.